welcome back. Continuing with Castlevania 2, and I'm not sure, I think we might do the next 3 mansions. We went ahead and we did the first couple, and we got a lot of items. Morning Star, got some Laurels, Silver Dagger. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alright, and I believe when we left off, 4 Laurels. That ought to be good enough to get us through the remainder of the game. But where we left off, I believe we have to get the, is it the eyeball of Dracula? So we're gonna need to see the ferryman. And I was gonna say, I felt really good about how I'd been playing because I hadn't used a continue yet. And as soon as I say that, I lose a life to these obnoxious blobs. There's very few items left to get at this point in the game. So we got the rib, yes. I believe we need to cross 2 more swamps there and back again. So the 4 Laurels that we have ought to be enough. And just like my last video playing Castlevania 2, again, I find it impossible to play this game without discussing Cinemassacre, AVGN, James Rolfe. Alright, let's make sure we got the heart selected this time. One thing I wanted to bring up with James is that, or AVGN rather, is I really miss the old set. We could go and get the diamond. Should we go get the diamond? Yeah, why not? Let's take a couple minutes. It doesn't matter if I've already, if I have to burn through a continue. These blocks, I'll probably die, but it's not as hard as they would make it sound. You just have to focus on the block you're on and jump when it's going up near its highest point. Alright, so here's where we get our diamond. Not a very useful item in my opinion. I mean, I've heard it's good, but I never find myself using it. Here, let's go ahead and try it now. I guess it's okay. We are about to get my favorite item, though, the gold dagger in the next mansion. But getting back to discussing James Rolfe, um, I know one of the criticisms he got, not just during the COVID episodes, but even before and after, was he was getting a little too comfortable. And this is why, you know, was discussing why I think Screenwave ought to build him a dedicated space and have him actually, like, show up a couple times a month or a week or whatever. There we go, using our first continue. There we go. That part's done. Like, take some of the older episodes of AVGN where he was in that crummy, well, it was actually, looked like it was a really nice apartment, but he was doing more with less. He had that probably small, cramped apartment. He obviously wouldn't be able to use it now because he has kids and it's just too small for his family, but I miss when he would do episodes like Friday the 13th or How the Nerd Stole Christmas that really showed off the space where he was living. It was nice. You know, because even when he moved into his new house, about 30 episodes in, I'm not sure exactly which episode, but we started to see less and less of the space, and a growing reliance on the static couch shots, the occasional over-the-shoulder shot, or shot of him, you know, standing by the shelves or whatever, where all the games are. I always thought that was disappointing. I missed him moving, you know, having shots of him moving around his house. And I get it, privacy, you don't want to show off. You want to have some semblance of privacy. And I can imagine, it was probably tough, you know, in those small rooms in his apartment. But that's what we liked. It's, again, it's doing more with less. It reminds me of, if you've ever seen the movie Be Kind, Rewind with Jack Black and I think Mos Def. You know, where they accidentally erase the home movies and they replace them with inferior. They accidentally erase. They work in a video store and they accidentally erase a whole bunch of videos in their store, so they have to replace them with, you know, quickly remake them with their, you know, primitive film techniques. Wait for a soul with a red crystal on Deborah Cliff. Okay, so this is the hint you're supposed to get about getting the tornado to appear. It doesn't say crouch, which is probably, you know, it probably should say it. Yeah, if you just wait there, you're going to be waiting for a long time. You actually have to crouch by the cliff. We're on our last life, so... Or no, I apologize. We already did use a continue. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and... We're going to not fight the Grim Reaper just yet. We will get the body part first. Could use a Laurel to help us spam Dracula. I think we'll use the... Maybe the Flame? The Flame or the Diamond? Okay, Diamond seemed to work. Now we have the Gold Dagger, my personal, or Gold Knife, my personal favorite sub-weapon in the game. Whenever you fall, just start whipping. There's probably an enemy waiting for you. And I think now would be a pretty good time to get the Flame Whip. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Okay, so that's it for everything we can do on this side of... The eyeball, not that useful. I wish it showed you the false floors in addition to where the breakable blocks are. Okay, so now we need to go to the Deborah Cliff and use our red crystal. Am I alone in missing the original nerd set? Because I remember, like, don't get me wrong, some of those episodes after he moved out of the apartment into his house, they're great. But he never really was... He didn't do any episodes, really, that showed off. Like, I remember that there was one episode of... I think it was the Rob the Robot episode where he shows off his kitchen a little bit. When he's making a gyro or hero sandwich. Okay, Cliff of Deborah. Select the red crystal. Again, probably something that no one would ever figure out on their own. The hint about waiting for a soul is one thing. Alright, and before we go in here, we're going to make our way to the town and get a flame whip. I think we can get it at this point. Or maybe we don't want to do that just yet, because then we'll have to make a long haul to find our way back. So let's go ahead and do this mansion first. And I hope I level up, because I'd hate to have to... Why not? Let's go ahead and select the eyeball. This would have been a great... So in a lot of adventure games like this, one item, you know, as soon as you get it, it starts paying dividends and helping you out immediately. I wish we could say that about the red crystal, or excuse me, the eyeball. But yeah, we have it equipped and we can't see through the floor, so we have to rely on that silly trick. With the holy water. Okay, so there is a book hidden up there. Oops. Read it too fast. Another one of everyone's complaints about Castlevania 2. You can cancel out the text if you're not paying. Oh, okay, it just reappears. Not useful information. Alright, and now we have to find... This one, I believe, has, the person that you buy the oak steak for is on the roof. The roof, excuse me. There it is. Unfortunately, we're almost dead. What's our experience at? So, maybe a few more kills and... Is there a floor we can drop through? Okay, now we need to find our way to the body part. Oh good, this is it. Okay, we got the nail, which is useless. Allows the whip to break blocks. I do not trust this floor. You know what? Let's see if we get our life refilled at 200. Have some fun with the gold dagger. Yes, yes we do. Wonderful. And I wasn't paying attention, but does the life meter get longer as well? Alright, now let's go get our flame whip. Of course I should have done that. And I don't think it really matters at this point anyway, because we've already purchased the Morning Star, our most expensive weapon. Alright, so now we have the Flame Whip. So all in all, as far as like playing through the game, the difficulty is not in the enemies and fighting. The difficulty is in figuring out what to do. So in that regard, it's kind of an unfair challenge, but you know, we'd all love to believe that we would be good enough to beat this game as kids, but honestly, I don't know that I would have been able to figure out all of this game. Okay, here's where we need our Laurels. I could have used another one, but what's the point? Oh, I am going to need to... Well, I've got 3 lives, so... But here I feel like we're pretty overpowered. You know, we have the flame whip, we have the gold dagger, got the rib. Maybe I should equip the eyeball. Not that it really matters at this point. Alright, found the oak steak salesman, first time up. When you're in mansion exploring mode, you want the eyeball and the holy water so that you can see where all the false floors and walls are. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will come back to that fight. First things first. Okay, is this our... This is the ring, right? The final... Yes, we now have the final item. Alright, so to fight the boss, we will have the rib to deflect the projectiles. And let's do the gold dagger. Alright, not too bad. Actually had a rather easy time of this mansion. Oh, some free laurels. Thank you. I believe when I was watching the James and Mike Monday, where they... Ooh. If I die, I lose them, though. This is my last life. When I was watching the James and Mike Monday, they talked about how you could get soft-locked by accidentally getting trapped. I wonder if they were talking... I wonder if that person there to give you laurels is to keep you from getting soft-locked on one side of the swamp. Oh, whoops. This music reminds me of the music from the TMNT, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 video game. Alright, am I gonna level up if I kill another 11 enemies? Or is it going to be 300 this time? Am I at 95? Let's see what happens if I kill a couple more. Yep, it's not going to happen, I think, unless I kill 300 total. I'm sure someone online has looked up like the complete guide to leveling up Simon Belmont. One thing I'm also curious about is if there is a... Because the whole point of the game is that Simon is cursed and that his wounds won't heal from the Castlevania 1 battle with Dracula. I wonder if you take too long, the game just kills you. Yeah, I think that's what those laurels were for, was so you could cross. Alright, now we are all the way back in that town that is completely to the east. Basically, we did a lap. So what we could do here, since we have time, we're going to wait for the wait for daybreak, and we should probably get some more laurels, just in case we need them. And what the heck, I'll buy garlic so that if I feel like going back and getting a silk bag. So, laurels and garlic. In fact, I might as well just go and get the silk bag. It's not too hard to get to. Plus, at this point, it's kind of fun to wander around having all the items. Yep, I've got all the hearts I need now. Because, you know what? I'm in a generous mood. I'll even buy the dagger since I'm right here in town. I believe it's that first shop. All right. Okay, here's the dagger, I believe. Oh, look at that. There's a hidden clue right here. Alright, well that tells you where to get the diamond. Never knew that was there. It would help. But see, I think I mentioned this. Oh, this person has nothing. I think I may have mentioned this last time I played, but this is the type of game where, you know, the manual was no help. So what you were left to do is, if anyone remembers, instruction manuals back then used to have the last couple pages would be blank and it would say notes. You were to sort of write your own notes or passwords or whatever. Or, you know, you could make your own maps. You could, and lots of gamers did. You made your own maps, you wrote down your own strategies and hints. It seems antiquated, but it was part of the fun. It made the game really feel like an adventure where you were exploring and figuring things out. Alright, we got more laurels, we got some garlic. I think it's the next town over that has the Silver Dagger. Oof. Am I gonna make it? Oh, no. Wrong. That's the entrance to, That is not, where we need to be, unfortunately. And I lost all my hearts. I always forget about that. That's a very odd transition. Either way takes you the same screen. Should we buy an oak steak? No, I don't think we'll do that. Alright, I believe down here is where the next town is. That's our Silver Dagger shop right there. And I know that this is kind of... it's overkill at this point. There's... no rhyme or reason, but... I don't know, I enjoy being overpowered and... being able to, wander around freely with all the best items. Oh. That's what you get for walking blindly. This game punishes you for everything. Alright, we are almost to the starting point of the game. So basically we have gone all the way east to all the way west, because I do believe that where the graveyard where the Laurels are, or the silk bag, represents the westernmost part of the game. And the silk bag, not very useful. All it does is allow us to hold more laurels, which, you know, how many do you really need? Okay, so here's where we can finally get the silk bag. I goofed it up earlier. Alright. Not useful, but... Okay, so now we're just going to make our way back to the town that is the starting point. Shouldn't take too much longer. Alright, let's see if we can make it to the church. I feel like I keep saying, let's see if we can make it here, let's see if we can make it there. It's as if, yeah, you constantly feel like you're, racing to make it there. Oops. Alright, let's go to the church and get our strength back. And then we'll stop playing. All that's left is, we're at the starting point, we have all the items. There we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stop right here, and next time we play, we will just be going to the final boss, which isn't much.